Alright, we're going to take a look at another MRE from MRE Nation. This one is menu number 8, Tuscan Beef. And this is one of the 12 options that I chose in my Build Your Own case from MRE Nation. I actually put out a little poll on Facebook and on Instagram asking which menu people would be interested in seeing. And this was the #1 choice. And it was also my #1 choice, something I'm really actually looking forward to checking out. I don't remember exactly what's in it or what the calorie count is, but it's a pretty full bag and it's pretty heavy. And it has an inspection date on it of February of 2021, which means it was packed in February of 2019. I'm actually reviewing this in May of 2019, so this is very fresh. And I did actually hear from Black Dog Bob about the reason why there's only a 2-year inspection date. It's actually a great reason too. You have to remember that the inspection date isn't a best by date or an expiration date. It's simply a date that if you have it up until that point, if you have like a case of them, they recommend that you try one just to make sure everything's still okay in there. And the reason they go with the 2-year inspection date instead of the 3-year that the genuine MREs have is because of the fact that since this is a commercial MRE, the entrees that they get tend to be a little bit older than the ones that we find in genuine MREs. So just to be on the safe side, they chose to go with 2 years. So I think that was pretty cool because they could have easily put 3 years on this and made it seem fresher for a longer period of time. But they kind of went with a more honest reason, and that's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and open this up and take a look and see what's in here. Yep, we have a fail on the peelable seal. So we'll just go ahead and cut this one open. This is a pretty full bag. Alright, here we have our Tuscan beef with cannellini, beans, lentils, and vegetables. This is an entree that I've never had before, so I'm looking forward to trying this one out. This actually comes from MRE Star, and it's not a standard entree that you'd find in a genuine US MRE, which makes it a little bit more interesting. And it has a date code on it of 18355, and it was packed on the 355th day of 2018, right at the end of 2018. So this is quite fresh. And we also have, as a side, garlic mashed potatoes, 8152 for the date code on that. Yeah, oh, we get the applesauce cake. That's good. And for a fruit, we have pears. One of these Chilean flameless ration heaters. Pretty powerful. Sometimes they take a little while to activate, but they're pretty powerful. And we have the MRE Nation accessory pack. I believe that they've upgraded these and now they actually have their own branded accessory packs. This is actually an MRE Star one. But we have a napkin with these MRE Star spoons, crushed red pepper, salt and pepper, a little pack of Smarties, moist towelette, deep rich coffee, Enjoy creamer, and Enjoy sugar. So that's the main components of the MRE, and then we have each MRE Nation MRE comes with a standard pack. This is kind of like an enhancement kind of thing. It does have bread, your spread, and some of your beverages in here. This one is standard pack 7, has 680 calories. It's actually kind of light for these standard packs. And you can see it has cheese spread with jalapenos, Italian breadsticks, crackers, lemonade, and hot beverage bag. That's actually kind of cool that it has 2 breads in it. So I just read everything that was in there, but it's pink lemonade. Is the plain cheese spread and the cheese spread with jalapenos. And here we have our crackers, Italian breadsticks, and our hot beverage bag. Alright, and here's everything that's included in this MRE. The website says that this menu has 1,795 calories, so basically 1,800 calories. But I did notice that the standard pack seems to have changed. The standard pack listed on the website says 570 calories, so this is over 100 more. So I'm going to go ahead and check out all the components and try and get a real specific calorie count for this one. Overall, it looks like it's going to be a good meal. I'm looking forward to it. It is interesting we have the 2 breads and also the 2 spreads. Usually an MRE only has 1 bread and 1 spread. And one thing, if I was thinking of something maybe to change about this, the side of garlic mashed potatoes, I think that would be okay to put the Tuscan beef over, but I'm almost wondering if rice might have gone better with it. But I'm sure it's going to be fine. And now why don't we go ahead and heat up the entree on the side and check everything else out. Alright, so I went ahead and checked the calorie content of all the components. And there was a little bit of a discrepancy between what the website says and what this actually contains. And I think most of that can be chalked up to the fact that this was packaged a couple months ago, and apparently they're still revamping their products and changing what's inside of them. The website says that this one has a total of 1,795 calories, but when I added everything up, I got 1,555. And there were a couple issues trying to figure that out because the main and the side do not come with cardboard sleeves. Luckily, the main has all the information on it. The side, the garlic mashed potatoes, does not. So I had to find out how many calories were in that, and I sort of made an average of a few different numbers that I found. And of course, the accessory pack has a number of items that you can either eat or drink, and they're not marked as far as calorie content. But the website says that the accessory pack has 75 calories, so I went with that number. And it did turn out that there's quite a few differences between the menu from a couple months ago when this was produced and what's on the website now. First off, I got the crackers and the Italian breadsticks in the standard pack. According to what's on the website now, the standard pack just has crackers, and the meal itself has wheat snack bread. So this one didn't have any bread products until we opened the standard pack. And also the menu that's listed now has cheese spread and cheese spread with jalapenos in the meal itself. This one had both of those, but in the standard pack. The one that's listed now, in the standard pack, it has peanut butter and jelly. So you're actually getting, in the new one, you're actually getting 4 spreads, which probably accounts for that discrepancy in the calories. Because 4 spreads is going to give you a lot of calories. So I just figured I'd go over that. And now let's go ahead and heat up the Tuscan beef with cannellini beans, lentils, and vegetables. And I didn't really go over this before, but here's the ingredients and the nutrition facts on that. Heat that up along with the garlic mashed potatoes in the flameless ration heater. I figured out the key to making this thing activate quick. It has that large heating element that really kind of puffs up, and instead of just pouring the water in and letting it kind of sit there and work its way in, you kind of squeeze it into the heating element a little bit. It'll activate really quickly. So this is going nicely, and so while we give this about 12 minutes to heat up, we'll check everything else out. Alright, and since this menu did come from the Build Your Own MRE case option, I did want to mention that every time you buy a Build Your Own case, you get one of these bonus packs, which basically from the outside it looks like another MRE, but it's full of a whole bunch of different components that are kind of used to enhance flavor and give you more options, give you some different things you can do. I actually did a whole separate video just on this bonus pack so you can see everything that's in it, because I want to start using this stuff and I don't want to have to go through everything that's in the bonus pack every time I use something. But the reason I mention that is because I did pull out a few things here. These are some of the, it's mostly like flavor enhancers and stuff like that. And I'm planning on using some of this stuff for this review. Especially this Buffalo Bob's Everything sauce. I'm kind of curious about that. So this isn't included in this MRE, but it is included in the bonus pack. So if you do get one of these cases, you'll get that too. We also have hot sauce, chili lime hot sauce, true lemon and true lime packets, and this pack of creamy vanilla icing, which, as I mentioned about the calorie content, if you need a calorie boost, this little 100-gram pouch of vanilla icing has 320 calories in it. So there's not a lot in here, but it's going to give you a lot of calories. And I think we're going to use that for the dessert. As far as what comes in the meal itself, for enhancing it, you really only have salt and pepper and crushed red pepper. Nothing wrong with that, but it's nice to know you have other options too. Let's start off with the trans-fat-free Italian breadsticks, which these actually have a date code of 8072 on them. It's a nice smell that comes off of there. It's only the second time I've had these, and it really is a nice alternative to wheat snack bread. And the crackers, these are the Next XOS crackers that tend to be vacuum sealed incredibly well, almost too well, and a lot of times they kind of stick to the packaging. Let's see if that's the case with this one. And we'll also see if we can get a little hiss out of here. Yep. And yes, this is, as you can see, the sides get crushed and it becomes part of the packaging. Which is kind of bad news for getting this out of the package in one piece, but it's kind of good news as far as freshness. I don't think these are going to go stale anytime soon. You can see they're just basically like part of the packaging there. And put some of the cheese spread on these. As I mentioned, the newer menu that's listed on the website says that it does come with both of these cheese spreads plus peanut butter and jelly. It's kind of a lot of spreads, and at least you have a couple bread products to put them on. But I'm going to actually put the plain cheese spread and the cheese spread with jalapenos on the crackers. Obviously you have the breadsticks that can go on those, but I'm going to kind of keep them separate for now. Kind of want to use that with the main inside. And you can tell the difference. There's the plain and there's the jalapenos. You can see some of the jalapenos in there. Alright, we're quickly running out of compartment space here. This is the applesauce cake, which is also trans fat free. It's my first time in a review trying one of these. I actually had one, well, it was on camera, but it was for something I never ended up using. Wow, and these are really good. And just as a bit of a spoiler alert, this is what comes with the meal. The creamy vanilla icing does not, but it was in the bonus pack, and we're going to use a little bit of this on that when we try it out. I did kind of want to put the mashed potatoes in one compartment and the Tuscan beef in another for the sake of the review, but because we only have so many compartments and I still have the pears to check out, they're going to have to go into one compartment together. And that is a little bit different than the sliced pears I'm used to seeing in the Canadian IMPs, stuff like that. This one is listed as having diced pears and light syrup. As you can see, it's almost like an applesauce consistency. It's like a pear sauce. And we do have a couple beverages with the coffee and the lemonade. Go ahead and make them up. Let's go ahead and put the creamer and the sugar in here. And the pink lemonade takes 12 ounces of water. And this is from MRE Star. That leaves us with our entree inside. The heater is still working, but let's have to check it out. I'm going to knead these up a little bit. It's incredibly hot at the bottom. Did a really good job. I probably could have flipped these over halfway through. It's so hot, you can't even touch it. I think it's going to be just fine once I knead it up a little bit. Yeah, I think if it's possible for you to pull these out and flip them over in the flameless ration heater, that's probably your best bet, because I mix this up, but it's incredibly hot down this end, and it's kind of like lukewarm up here. But let's take a look at the mashed potatoes. Obviously, mashed potatoes not the most exciting dish in the world, but with the addition of the garlic, it makes it a little bit more interesting. I did get that little taste on its own just to check it out, and it is a bit on the bland side. There's a little bit of a taste coming through because of the garlic, but you could definitely use some salt. That's definitely what I would do with it, and I think that would be enough. Some salt and pepper would probably be good. But because of the fact that we're doing a review, for right now we're just going to leave it as is. And now I'll check out the Tuscan beef. And it's kind of interesting, after it heated up, I did realize that the US inspected and passed sticker is actually a sticker. It's not part of the pouch. And that looks and smells pretty good. Check it out. Alright, and that's really looking good. As you can see, it really filled that compartment up. I actually still have a little bit in the bottom here that I didn't use because it was starting to overflow. It's a standard 8-ounce entree, so it's not anything extra huge or anything, but putting it on top of the potatoes, it just really didn't leave enough room in here. But it smells good. I have to say, I've never had Tuscan Beef before, either as an MRE entree or in general, and I'm not exactly sure what to expect from it. It seems like it's going to be kind of like a lentil bean kind of a stew. It does have the cannelli beans, and it does have lentils in it, tomatoes, tomato juice, and then for some of the Tuscany seasoning, there's dehydrated onion, spices, dehydrated garlic, dehydrated sun-dried tomatoes, dehydrated parsley, dehydrated red bell pepper, salt, and canola oil. There's quite a few dehydrated ingredients. There's a dehydrated vegetable blend that includes carrot, onion, tomato, celery, field-run bell pepper, and cabbage. So I'm going to go ahead and try it out before it gets cold. I'm glad I did kind of cheat a little bit and have a little bit of that mashed potato before I put this in here, because now it's obviously all mixed. You can't even see the mashed potatoes anymore. But I'm going to actually try the Tuscan beef first on its own. It's definitely kind of like a stew. And it's good. It has a bold, distinctive flavor. You're definitely not getting gypped on the taste. I'm not exactly sure. Since I've never had it before, it's kind of hard to describe what it is. But it does have the lentils in there. And the beans and lentils do come through. There's some of the beef. You're not getting huge chunks of beef, but this is a pretty good sized one right here. The sauce is more of a rich, dark gravy. There's one of the cannellini beans. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to try it with the mashed potatoes. I think that's going to be even better. It looks like this was a good combination. I was thinking rice would have gone better with this. You can see some onion in there. But without having yet tried it, I think this is going to work quite well together. And it does, especially because the potatoes themselves are kind of a boring and kind of a bland. It tastes like they're from instant, like reconstitute potatoes rather than something really natural. So mixing them in with something that's kind of a liquid-based sort of a stew, mixing that with all its flavor in with the more solid nature of the potatoes, it really does go well together. Let me get a little more of this beef. Yeah, that's really good. And if you're getting MRE burnout from having the same entrees over and over, it's always good to mix it up with something different. And this is definitely something different. Seeing as how it's an MRE star entree instead of a standard MRE one. Let me try this with a little bit of the Italian breadstick, which has plenty of spices and flavorings of its own. Yeah, that goes really well together. If you have the crackers, you can put crumble some of them and give it some crunch too. But that goes really good. I'll try everything else out, and then we'll go ahead and kind of mess around with the flavor of this a little bit. Wash it down with some of the deep, rich coffee. Very familiar and perfectly serviceable instant coffee you find in a lot of commercial MREs. I'm going to try these pears. Yeah, very much like something you get in a fruit cup, canned pears. And it's interesting how it, like I said, it does have the chunks here, but it also has what almost seems like applesauce in this, what they call light syrup. There is some, like, a little bit of just like plain liquid, and then there's this sauce, and then there's the chunks. But it has a really good flavor of pear. Exactly what you'd expect. It's really good. Try out some of this cracker. We have the second one here that'll be good for crumbling up. Not surprisingly, since that's very fresh, it tastes just fine. Nothing really to write home about, just a plain old cracker, not even very salty. But then we'll try it with the cheese spread, which, not surprisingly, is a great combination. Of course, if you don't like Cheese Whiz and this artificial kind of cheddar cheese whiz sort of spread, you might not like it. That's something I've always been a fan of. And then the jalapeno version pretty much starts off the same sort of artificial cheddar kind of flavor. And then the jalapenos come in and they really kind of kick it up and change it quite a bit. Which is good if you're getting bored of having the plain old cheese spread. Gives you something different. And we'll have a little bit of cheese spread on the breadstick. Which seems to go together perfectly naturally. And the pink lemonade. And that's really nice. Having pink lemonade in a military-style ration kind of makes it really sound like a kid's drink. We always talk about how the beverages are kind of like a Kool-Aid, sort of a kid's drink. And having it be pink lemonade seems even more so. But it's a really nice change. It's really nice to get something different from the standard lemon lime or orange or fruit punch. And I'm a fan of lemonade anyway. So that leaves us with our applesauce cake. As I said, I'm going to put some of this creamy vanilla icing on there. We're going to try it on its own, but I do want to make use of this special thing that MRE Nation provides. And of course, with all these calories, you don't necessarily have to have something to put this on. You can just tear off the corner and just kind of suck it right out of the pouch too. And that's really sweet. I'll try this on its own first. Looks very similar to a lot of the MRE pound cakes. It's not terribly dense, it's pretty airy. And that's really tasty. It's really sweet, not overly sweet. But I'm sure the ingredients do have apple in them, like an applesauce kind of a thing. But it does have, I think you can see, it actually has these little pieces of apple. And that really makes it stand out from some of the other cakes. It's kind of similar to like the spice pound cake and the like the carrot pound cake, those kind of things. But the apple and those apple bits really just kind of do take it over the edge a little bit. It's really, really good. And speaking of taking it over the edge, I have tried this once before, but never on camera or never in a video. And that is really tasty. You don't actually have to make your own field expedient icing using dairy shakes and other components. Now you can actually have icing as a component. I'm not sure which way I prefer it. I mean, that's really good, but it almost overdoes it with the sweetness. It's a little bit more understated with this. You get a little bit of crunch on the top, the softness of the cake. It's kind of moist, not overly moist. And those little apple pieces really make it good. That's really tasty. That's pretty much everything, but we do need to check this out a little bit more because I already told you how the Tuscan beef tastes. It's really good. It's nice. It goes well with the potatoes. The potatoes themselves were bland. As I said, they could definitely use some salt, but once you mix this all together, it's just fine. As I mentioned, in the bonus pack, we do have some flavor enhancers. We have hot sauce and chili and lime hot sauce. Those will be good on here. As I said, I'm really looking forward to trying out this Buffalo Bob's Everything sauce. It says it's for chicken, meats, seafood, and fries. Unlimited uses. Pour it on, mix it in, dip it in, baste with it, grill with it, and marinate with it. It does say it's extra spicy, but it doesn't really have a lot of spicy components. It does say spices and pepper sauce down here, but other than that, it's nothing really that stands out as being incredibly hot. It seems to be tomato based. The first ingredient is ketchup. And there's apple cider vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, sugars, spices. Let's try it out. If you want to see what it tastes like on its own, what it looks like too. It kind of looks like a ketchup or barbecue sauce sort of thing. Yeah, that's good. It's not an overly hot. I'm not really a spice sauce kind of person or a hot sauce kind of person. And it's kind of like a combination of everything, which actually, interesting enough, it does say everything sauce, and it is kind of like that. It does give it some kick. There's definitely some heat, but it's not overpowering. There's definitely taste the ketchup in there, and I can taste the Worcestershire sauce. It's a pretty complex kind of flavor. And only just have a little bit of everything, I can kind of see this going with everything too. And it does go really well with this. Okay, we'll add a little bit of cracker crumble in here. Just because we can. I said I don't think this needs a lot of dressing. This is really good on its own. But since we have tried it, if you do have this enough, this could get boring too. and it's kind of just keeps it interesting. Hot sauce obviously would go great with this. And it's nice that the bonus pack does come with 2 hot sauces, because this one, even though it does say extra spicy, it's definitely not over the top as far as the spices. You might want to actually add some hot sauce too. It's a bit more enjoyable than a true hot sauce as far as the pain level. And then you have the true lemon and the true lime. I'm not exactly sure what those to go with. I think this would go great with like tuna fish or something like that. But I'm really curious about this, so I did want to try it out. I'm going to actually add a little bit to this, just to see what'll happen. And also add a little bit to the lemonade, give it a little bit of extra lemon flavor. I'll try it as it is first. And then add some of that. Clean off the spoon. And that does change it. It does make it more lemony. I'm not sure how it would be in other drinks, but lemonade seems perfectly fine. Yeah, I guess we'll just finish up with a little bit of everything. Just because. Oh, and I realized I forgot to try this with the lemon, and that really comes through. I didn't put a lot on here, as you saw, and it really does come through. I don't know if it necessarily goes with this, but anything that could be kicked up with lemon, something that's like really bland, a little bit of that sweet and sourness to it, it's quite effective. And as it says, 1 packet equals 1 wedge, so that's a pretty good amount of lemon power right there. So that was a look at an MRE Nation MRE from 2019. It was menu number 8, Tuscan Beef, with a few enhancements from the Build Your Own Case bonus pack. Thank you for watching.